Hey there. Hey there, hi there, ho there. It's Friday. Carolyn Carpenter here with Hollywood Gatekeepers. Yeah, it's me and Doug. He'll be here in a second. Always takes him a second. There he is. I should say things about him before he gets here, just, for fun. So, yes, Carolyn Carpenter, one of the founders of Hollywood Gatekeepers. So, it is Friday, and tomorrow is our live workshop. Woohoo! So we will be there live. Did you hear that? That's Scruffles. She's, she's chasing her tail. Seriously. Okay, she's the sweetest dog I've ever had, but she's not the brightest. She's super cute. Okay, sorry. It's not Squirrel, it's Scruffles. So that's Scruffles, my assistant. She comes to the office with me, helps me out every day, and she'll help you too. So yeah, Hollywood Gatekeepers. Today we're going to talk about the workload of a reader. I wanted to kind of cover that. That has been one of the questions. So if you have not joined the private Facebook group, Hollywood Gatekeepers private Facebook group, you should do that. You can do that on this page. And when you do that, we ask you, do you have any questions? One of the main questions we get when people do that is, what's the workload? What's the turnaround time? How much work do you get? And so we're going to talk about that a little bit today. And we're going to talk about it in terms of, we have a live workshop tomorrow where we dive in. It's at noon tomorrow on Saturday, the 28th of October. And we dive in very deep in that workshop about kind of what it takes to break down a script, what the job is like, what you learn. And we have a course coming up, an actual paid course, what you learn in that course. So we cover all of that in this workshop that's live tomorrow. This will be the last workshop of 2017. So this is your last chance in 2017 to jump into these live workshops. We've done, I think we've done 4 or 5. And so this is the last one. So if you want to get in there before the end of the year, this is it. It's all she wrote. It's the last one for this year. So, and we tell you a lot of stuff. We try to make it so that you end the workshop with the tools that you will need to start reading if you would like. But then we also tell you about our paid course that actually takes you through very detailed, I mean, incredibly detailed descriptions of how to break down a script as well as how to get a job. So as the year ends and the new year begins, this is the time that we all start thinking about, what do we want 2018 to look like? How do we want to, go into the new year? So one of the reasons we're covering this topic today is that the workload of a reader, one of the beautiful things about it is that it's very varied. I mean, it's very much you're self-employed. And one of the things we teach in our program is how to be self-employed, because it's not easy if you're not used to it. If you're used to having a regular job where you go to work and get your paycheck and they tell you what to do, even though you have your own parameters of how you do that job, much different thing when you're self-employed and have to figure out exactly when to do that. It can be very, very, it can be very, very challenging. So one of the things we teach in the workshop is how to manage as a self-employed person, because it's not easy sometimes. So the workload of a reader, basically, it's like you do a book report. You get a script, you do a book report, or what's called coverage, a fancy word for book report, and you describe what the script's about and all the problems with it, and then you give that back to the person who gave you the script, and then they decide if they want to do the movie. The reason they need readers to do this is because takes time to read a script, and there's so many producers and they're all looking for projects and they just don't have time to read everything. So they have readers do that, and then you can boil it down, and then they don't have to read the whole script unless if they get a good coverage back from a reader and a reader says, oh, this is something you should look at, then they'll look at it. But before that, there's no reason for them to weed through, and I'm talking weed through, I'm talking about a lot of scripts, like read through thousands, literally thousands of scripts. So that's where the reader comes in. So in terms of the workload, you can say, look, I can only read this many scripts today, or I can only read this many scripts per week, or you can say, bring it on, I want to work full time and really work really hard. So that's the beautiful thing about it. And the other beautiful thing about it is that if you're deciding to try and explore if you want to do this, you can kind of do it as a part-time basis, sort of as a side hustle, where you're doing your regular job and you're just kind of learning how to do it, and then you can kind of get it going without, quitting your job and not having something secure. You can kind of learn how to do it and maybe bridge that gap once you get a little bit further along. So that's why we have the course, because that helps you really figure that out. And I'm a huge proponent. There's a big movement, I don't know if you're aware of it, of people saying quit your 9 to 5 and start your business, and I think that's very irresponsible. You know, you're going to just work on the beach on a laptop, you know, and I have my own business now and I do work on my own, but the working on at the beach with the laptop thing, when does that start? Like it's like, it's not that you can quit your 40-hour-a-week job and work 80 hours a week as an entrepreneur, or you can keep that job, be secure, figure it out so that when you do go to quit your job, you're a little bit more prepared. And that's one of the things that we teach in the workshop, as well as how to break down a script. So come tomorrow at noon and you can get a lot of free stuff with that. It's only about an hour long. If you have questions, leave them here. We'll answer them in the workshop. And then you can decide if you want to take the paid course, or we give you enough information in the paid workshop, in the free workshop, that you can kind of get started on your own. If you haven't joined the mailing list, do that, because we give away a lot of free stuff there. We give a lot of free stuff. I do these Facebook Lives with information to give you tips about how to be a reader. We're starting a podcast, I think by the end of the year or early next year. So we have a lot of things planned to give you even more information about how to do this. So, and like I said yesterday, I'm just going to end each one with, not everybody in Hollywood is bad. One bad apple. It's a great song. So, yeah, not everyone in Hollywood is bad. There are many beautiful, good, nice people. So, and readers are one of them. Like, I haven't had any problems. So, I'm looking at my notes. Yeah, that's basically it. So you set your own schedule with turnaround time. Typically, they want scripts like 24 hours or so, but really they'll give you like a file of 20 scripts, and then they say, can you get this one back tomorrow and this one back next week? And you kind of work it out. So that's one of the great things about it. It's very, very, really super duper flexible. Cool? Okay. Happy Friday. Sign up for the workshop. Last one tomorrow. I'll put the link below. Coolness. All right. I will talk to you soon. Have a good evening. Have a good weekend. Go do Halloween-y things. That's what I'm doing. Well, and someone's birthday party. Yeah, I'm doing that.